This episode is brought to you by Leo Bato and Associates, ang realtor na patok.
Pag-usapan natin itong passion projects mo. Okay? Babalik ako sa unang tanong ko sa'yo. Bakit mo ginagawa to? Kita mo iba na sagot.
Yeah, well, because I love like programming, like shows. I mean, it's sort of like putting together a playlist. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So like the way I put my shows together, like I really look at the flow of artists, and who's gonna come. Who's gonna come first and what songs they're gonna play. Is it gonna, flow into the next act? So hindi lang siya parang, you stick one person here, one person here, one
Alam mo,
person.
pareho tayo.
There's a flow.
Alam mo, ang OPM Summerfest is that format. Yung ginagawa naming show na, yung ginawa naming show na OPM Summerfest, ganon. Hindi siya yung band after band after band after band.
Yeah.
It's what song should come next after this song. And kung sino mang banda ang in charge doon, di yun ang kumanta and all that. So
yeah,
hindi mo ina-expect.
that's what I used to do, and like that's what I guess a lot of us used to do.
Mixtapes.
Yeah, mixtape. That was
Mixtape,
mixtape.
di ba?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I used to do that. Like on
And isn't
the
it
cassette.
hindi ba napakaganda ng format na ganon? Because everybody's given a chance to be seen by other people's followers. Kasi normally, sa standard na smorgasbord na show, pag nag-mini set na yung isang artist at tapos na yan, kung sino man ang followers yan, umuwi na eh. Pero kung ang ginagawa namin is, pwedeng kakanta ka ng dalawang kanta ngayon. Pagkatapos ng dalawang kanta mo, si JJ kakanta ng dalawang kanta, and then ako naman kakanta ng dalawang kanta. And then balik ka ulit. So yung sa amin talaga nagro-rotate talaga hanggang dulo. So yung mga tao, hindi na ngayon nila alam kung
What's coming up next?
Yeah. But what's nice about what you're doing, you're incorporating big artists and the local artists. Bakit hindi ka mag-focus sa, ito na, tall order? Bakit hindi ka mag-focus sa local artists to the point na i-build up mo talaga yung artist ito from the ground up?
What do you mean, like?
Like let's say si JJ Buencamino. I-cultivate mo siya to the point na yung mga ginagawa mong project, you find young artists. Naku, tinawag na young artist si JJ. Maghahanap ka ng mga young artist. Ihimig handog mo na, may tao o wala, hanggang sa nakikilala sila, hanggang sa lumalaki ang following, and then before you know it, these young artists become major artists in their own right. And they came from you. Is that part of the plan or wala sa plan yun?
Well, hindi ko pa naisip, like, I mean, in terms of like, like managing artists and building them up from ground up. I mean, although, like, for example, last December, we had a show at Noipes, Bascovina last December, where it was hip hop, R&B, and pop lineup. And Honoré was part of it, and a lot of
shout
them,
out nga pala kay Honoré.
Honoré, yeah, and a bunch of them actually met on my virtual shows, for the very first time, and like a few of them, like actually collaborated with each other, and they wrote songs together
because of something that you did.
Yeah, because of the show. I mean, that's the first time that they met. And so Honoré and Sultry had a song together. I mean, and we found out.
Is that on
like,
Spotify now?
I think so. Yeah, it's
yun.
called First Time. It's like
First
one of my
time,
favorite
okay.
songs.
Listen to it on Spotify, guys.
Yeah. I mean, and stuff like that. And I made a flyer, of like all these people. Like there were like 5 artists in the show like last December who collaborated with each other, and I like did like like dots, like connect the dots, like, and they were all like like that. I mean, which was cool, and a few of them met for the very first time because of my show, because I found them, like during the pandemic. I mean, so that's a kind of thing when you say like building them from ground up,
Yes.
and then really nurturing them to become like the artists that they are now, and even bigger. So that's the kind of work that we're trying to do. Like, and for Himig Natin also, one of the goals, one of the purposes was to, foster new collaborations, because a lot of
Yes.
them have never worked with each other. Like they've never been put on the same stage and singing with each other. We had a lot of production numbers, and not like a few of them have only worked with each other. Most of them haven't. So that's the kind of thing that we want. Like, cause, when you're like fostering new collaborations, of course, that's new work. That's creating new work.
Yes.
Essentially,
Synergy
right?
yun eh. Synergy, right? And normally,
And that's what we want.
Yeah.
We want new work. I mean, yeah. So it kind of like evolves in itself, by itself.
anong frustration mo when you do himigandog ako ng himigandog ako, himig natin. When you do himig natin, saan nanggagaling ang frustration? Because kahit ikaw, imbita ka ng imbita sa akin, hindi naman ako pwede pumunta. Nung time na yun, I was currently on tour and all that. But, what's your frustration? Wag mo pagalitan yung audience ha. So, ikwento mo lang yung frustration mo ha.
I mean, it's hard to find funding. Of course, first and foremost, that's like always, an issue, right? Funding is always an issue. It's hard to find support. Like, a lot of people say they support you, but, like, you don't see it because they don't really come or show you that they support. Like, it's hard. Like, it's like not a lot of people paid attention to what Himig Natin stood for. I mean, I guess it was hard to tell people about the narrative of what it was. Yeah, I mean, because you're like one of the first few
Yes.
people I told
Yes.
about.
So,
But it
paano
was
mo nasabi
hard.
sa akin? Paano ko naintindihan? At bakit hindi mo na-disseminate yung information na yun sa maraming tao?
Yeah, I mean,
Hindi, I'm asking you.
marami kasi. There's like, it's like multi-layered,
Kasi let's explain it. Ang himig natin is pretty much showcasing standard songs interpreted by new artists in cooperation with certified OPM artists.
Yeah, I mean, we had one. Like,
Could have been more.
Yeah, could have been more. But yeah, we chose
Ayan,
Lani.
next time
Miss
sasama
Anita.
ako ha.
Yeah.
Okay. Pro bono.
Yeah.
Ayan,
I mean, I did ask, several people.
Yeah. Umirit na ako ha, pro bono. I'll do it pro bono.
That's on record.
On record. Okay.
On YouTube forever.
For you, on YouTube forever. One time. Okay. At least
Yeah,
once.
one
Gagawin ko
time.
pro
Yeah.
bono. Once. Okay.
That'll
Okay.
be awesome.
Sige.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard, to tell people about the narrative, and everyone's like, why are there so many artists? Why are there so many opening acts? And the truth is,
Di sila opening act.
it was all about them.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that was the purpose. And, and the thing is, like, when people got there, that's the only time when they saw, this is what the show is about, is a tribute to OPM. You're honoring the legacy of OPM, but then you're promoting these, new local Philam artists
Right.
in our own community here in LA.
Right.
I mean, that was the whole thing.